Hello everyone, this is XleeHS. Hopefully I'll never have to start off another video saying that ever again. That's kind of cringe. I do preface saying that though because obviously this is a group channel. This is something I kind of wanted to do, see if y'all like it or not. Figured I'd bring a couple reviews. I might make one or two, and then you all can let me know if you like them or not, and if you don't, then I won't do any more. Anyway, this is a set that I find very interesting. I don't see it covered at all, so I figured I'd cover it here, more so for documentation's sake, and I have a few comparisons I'd like to make as well. So this is the Thomas and the Christmas Tree gift set by ERTL. It says new item there. This, as far as I understand, this is a UK exclusive. You'll see that this is the U-hook version. There is a regular version as well that I don't find as interesting, but it is out there. This is definitely the harder version to come by. Here we have the classic 2000s artwork of Thomas, which I love. I was born in '03, so I'm very nostalgic for stuff like this. Usually this striping here would be different shades of blue, but you have different shades of green. And instead of your typical icons like a railway crossing sign or, you know, a number 1 or something, you have all these different ones. You have like a Christmas tree, a T for Thomas, candle there, mistletoe I want to say, and it just goes on, and it's really neat. The side of the box here just says Thomas and the Christmas Tree gift set, and the back of the box shows off the item, and I'll show you here. Here's the classic version with your standard coupling. Not to mention this looks like a prototype flatbed, because as we'll see in the video, this has snow detail, which is not present on this one. But you can see just there you got Thomas with his Santa hat, and he appears to have buffer stickers, which is interesting. Okay, so for those who know me, I cannot keep anything in the box for the life of me, and this has already been unboxed. I got this for Christmas from my brother, who's awesome. Shout out him for snagging me this. This was almost a $200 endeavor. So for those who don't know, he plays the well, he plays this guy. You may recognize him. The name escapes me at the moment. Something with a god. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm gonna get everything out of the box and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything out of the box. We got the special Thomas, we got the Christmas tree and the flatbed, and we have a Topham Hatt. Real fast, I totally forgot to mention the date, 2003. Right there. I believe the original version was 2002, but the U-hook one is 2003. Sorry, I totally forgot about the bottom of the box. That's kind of important. Let's take a closer look at these guys. So let's start off with Thomas, because there's a few things of note here. First of all, brilliant little version of Thomas. I love the Santa hat and the scarf. Mine has a funny misprint on the smile, kind of looks like he's like biting his lip or something. I was gonna fix it, but it's low-key kind of funny, so I just keep it. There's the side there. You can see some of the snow detail. This looks like it was done after the fact, because the regular train has the, you can see there, like the high shine varnish kind of gloss look, whereas the snow, hopefully you can see there, is not reflective. That looks like it's a matte finish done after the fact, so that's an interesting choice. But it works though. It makes it look very, like, you can tell that this is supposed to be snow and not just like white paint or something, so that it's a nice look. It works very well. Closer look on the hat there and the scarf. I believe this is a single molded piece, although they have made just a single mold of the hat, as we'll see later on. There's the U-hook coupling, and this U-hook coupling droops down a little bit. That's how it was when I got it. I think it's because it's slightly thinner, but again, we'll get to that in the comparison part of this video I got coming up in a little bit. And you have his cab sticker, and he's in obviously great shape. Got him brand new. It's such a fun little festive thing. I think it's awesome. Underneath, it is dated 01, as all the trains from 2001 onward were redated. But thanks to Engine Shed Studios, another member of the channel, he told me what these production codes mean, so that's kind of neat. I know when these trains are made now. I believe it's, from what he told me, I could be totally wrong here, I might be totally botching this. I believe he said the first 3 numbers is the day of the year, so it would be the 177th day of 2002. I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sure he'll let me know in the comments and he'll clarify. But I believe that's what it is. So this was made in '02, mid '02, probably in preparation for the following Christmas season. So that's really neat. Next up, let's look at Sir Topham Hatt. You can barely see him there. Hello, kiddos. I love the sort of like coat thing he has on there. Funny enough, they have like these little sleeves for his arms, but his arms don't go through it. So it just has like an oversized coat on. It is removable. There's a bit of Velcro here, and there's a little snap here, which I don't want to undo too many times. I don't know how the longevity of that, but you can just see him under there. Just a regular Topham hat. So if you, for whatever reason, happen to get this pack and don't already have a normal Sir Topham hat, hey, there you go. I think he just looks hilarious. I love it. It's awesome. I love that it's not just painted. I love that it's like a whole separate sewn piece. Just had to double check. Underneath, it is 2001 as well. So, not much to say, really. The stitching is great. No qualms with it. It's definitely going to hold up. When I think of ERTL, I think of, obviously they're Thomas stuff, but I think of like tractors and farming equipment. I don't think of things like sewn and stuff. So, the fact they did a good job on that is not surprising, because it is ERTL, but it's appreciated nonetheless. Finally, we have the Christmas tree flatbed, which I think might actually be my favorite piece. As funny as that sounds. So here's the Christmas tree. And I went looking for about 2 hours straight trying to find if there was like a non-Thomas but ERTL release of like a Christmas tree that they just snagged this from. And from what I can tell, there's not. So this was specially tooled, just like the Thomas and the Christmas Santa outfit thing for Sir Topham Hatt. And the piece on the flatbed, I'm pretty sure this was all uniquely tooled for this set, which is just brilliant. They're not like reusing anything. And the detail on here is just something else. I know it's silly because it's a tree or whatever, but God, it is so nice. Like all the bits are picked out there in like white, kind of looks like snow. All the ornaments or baubles or whatever y'all call them over there in the UK, all those are all picked out. They look fantastic. It's almost like a PVC kind of material. There's a bit of like flex to it, which is really nice. So like if you're, accidentally stepped on this or something, it wouldn't just break in half. It's got quite a bit of give to it, which I quite like. Nice thin, almost call that a stem. That'd be a trunk on a tree, wouldn't it? And it's got like this really cool looking base. It almost looks like that that skirting that you see along the bottom of Christmas trees. And underneath, it is dated 2003. So this would have been tooled especially for this set, which kind of puts a hole in my theory that the original version came out in 2002, unless they just updated the date, because it's just a tree piece. That's totally plausible as well. This doesn't have a little production code on it, from what I can tell, unless I'm totally missing it. So I gotta take the date as 2003 as being correct. Here's the flatbed, which I find very neat, because from my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they never re-released the Henry's Forest log car, which is what this flatbed's based off, in a U-hook form. My understanding is this is the only way to get it. And it's lovely, really. I love the color underneath. It's a dark gray compared to your other Henry's log car, which is a lighter gray. I prefer this darker gray. It's quite a nice color. And you got that airbrush snow on there, akin to Thomas. It just looks great. I love it. It looks fantastic. And you get this other exclusive piece, which is to hold the tree. This should also be dated 03. Oh, you can actually kind of see it this time. Yeah, 2003. And this piece is exclusive as well to hold the tree, but you can also put other things in here, like there's some trains that you can get to like balance on here. So it's actually, it introduces quite a bit of play as well. It just slides on there, the planking lines up, but it's nice that they didn't make this permanent. So you can just, if you want to, put the logs on here, or you could, grab a train or a car or whatever, and you can use it like you would with your standard flatbed. I love that they didn't make this permanent. It just sits on there like so. And the shoulder side is for the top of the tree, and then this trunk sits on this divot, or in this divot rather. And it just sits in like that. So that's about it for the review section. I think this is a fantastic set. The thing is though, especially in box, you're looking at like a $200 endeavor here. I think mine was $150, which is, I rounded it up to 200, but that's actually on the cheaper end for a new in-box U-hook version. I've seen them go up to $400 or $500, which is brutal. I love all of these. I think all these exclusive pieces are phenomenal. I would say though, I think this is probably my favorite piece, because you can use this, it's just so versatile. You can have like the tree set up as a separate piece, around the shed or something. You could take this off, use this as a normal flatbed, or you could put trains on it, or you know, whatever. It's very versatile that way. Now, as I said, that's it for the review section. However, there's some comparisons I want to make in this video as well. So I have these two Thomases here that I'd like to show off with this Thomas. This one might be a bit more obvious. This one might not be as obvious, so we'll get on to that one. First of all, this is another UK exclusive, but this came the year before this Thomas. As you can see, it doesn't have the U-hook. It has the more traditional coupling, which is a separately tooled piece. You can see right in there where the tooling was modified to add the snowplow. Not to mention that the tooling's just entirely different. You have a thicker running plate compared to your standard Thomas, and even this back end is a slightly different shape to your standard Thomas. So this is a completely new tooled running board, which I think is just great. A lot of effort put into that. This one, yeah, it's got 177.2, which is strange. Was this one not 177.2? What do you know? Look at that. 177.2, 177.2. So these Thomases made on the same day, in the same year? I guess they just knocked all these Christmas Thomases out, and then throughout the next couple years, they're like, okay, we'll do this one in 02, and then we'll do this one in 03. That's really neat. I never even noticed that. That's actually really cool. So I guess these two are not so distant cousins, but I did kind of want to show them off because they are similar, but they are different. For example, the snow detailing is different between the two. Not so much the matte finished like outline of snow, but this one has speckled snow, while this one does not. As well as the hat here is the same piece, although they went in and did a separate tooling with the scarf. This one does not have the scarf, but this one has the plow, but no U-hook. So I think it just kind of comes down to which you prefer. I like both for different reasons. I've had the one with the plow for a lot longer, so this one's quite special to me. But again, you know, as I said, my brother got me this one for Christmas. It is awesome, so this one's special to me as well. I think I just like them for different reasons. I guess it just depends. If you have like you want to do a little story there where Thomas is plowing snow, obviously this is the one to go for. But maybe throughout the story, Thomas ditches his snowplow along the way, and then you can swap it into this Thomas pretty damn seamlessly. So I think both are great, just for different reasons. So I wanted to show that one off as a bit of a comparison, because they are similar, but they are obviously different. Now here's your standard U-hook Thomas from the time. As we saw, this Thomas was dated 2002, while this Thomas has a production date underneath of 2003, so this would have come a year afterwards. And it is a U-hook, however the U-hook at the back is actually different. You can see this one, which would have been an earlier one, is thinner. However, this Thomas here has a thicker U-hook, more akin to, you know, Emily, Murdoch, Jock kind of thing, where this one is more similar to, I guess, the likes of like Harvey or Neil or Frank or something. Maybe a tiny bit thicker, but still skinnier. So it kind of makes me wonder if that was an issue, kind of like with the silly trucks, if you know how they re-released the silly trucks with thicker couplings, if maybe that was an issue, so they went in and retooled Thomas. It's a very subtle change, but one that is noticeable to me nonetheless. And you can tell, especially when they're standing like this one's thicker, this one doesn't bow down like this one does, because this one's quite a bit skinnier. You can see, like, if I push my, it's not like it's going to snap off or anything, obviously I'm putting a lot of tension on there, but it's just a thinner material, whereas this Thomas here has a much thicker material. So just something interesting I wanted to point out. I don't think anyone's ever documented the fact that there have been different versions of U-hooks on the Thomas character himself, but there definitely are, and it's something interesting I wanted to point out, and I wanted to definitely compare him to this Thomas here. So now we have a lovely line of Thomases going on. I was going to compare Sir Topham Hatt to a standard Sir Topham Hatt, but besides the outfit here, I don't think there's anything to write home about. The Topham is the exact same underneath. What I do want to show off is this compared to the log car. Ah, there's Henry. Thank you, Henry. I'm gonna need this. Thank you. Here's the regular log car. I will remove the loads just to make it a little bit easier, but I will show you something with the loads here in just a second. I love the log car. I wish I had more of these. I've only got one at the moment, but Yeah, you can see that the couplings are different. Actually, this would be the female end. Here's the male end. So they definitely went in and retooled that. And again, from my understanding, we never got a U-hook Henry's Forest log car. We only ever got this. So it does make it rather special in that case. But what is really cool is since the top is unchanged and this piece here is designed to fit on the bed, you can use it with your old one just fine. So if this is the look you prefer, which actually kind of looks cool this way, you can totally do that. Or if you want like a snowy story or something, where Henry's collecting logs, or maybe they're chopping down trees, or you know, you can make some sort of story out of that with Christmas trees and such. You can use your regular logs on the U-hook one as well, and it works just fine. Matter of fact, it covers up a lot of that airbrush snow, so it just kind of looks like a dark gray log car, and I think that looks really cool. Nothing wrong with this color, but I do kind of slightly prefer the darker gray. Like, that looks really cool, in my opinion. So, definitely a set that's worth picking up, this Thomas and the Christmas Tree gift set. Again, it's not cheap by any means. Maybe if you're really after the pieces, you can probably go secondhand markets, on secondhand markets like eBay, or you know, whatever site you choose, and you can probably snag them that way. I have seen the Sir Topham Hatt and the Santa Thomas come up a few times on their own. I've never seen this tree flatbed come up on its own, and I could only imagine it's because out of the whole set, this is probably the bit to get lost. If you enjoyed this style of video, I would love to do more. And if you did, not only would I love to do more, but maybe some other members on the channel would like to throw their hat in the ring and do a couple reviews on ERTL things, just so we have something between poorly retolds. If you enjoyed this series, let me know in the comments down below, and if you didn't, I will never make another one again.